Orthodox parents are more concerned about soccer and basketball and volleyball and swimming and hockey and all the other sports. The sports today have become the new religion. And rather than worship as a family, we see a lot of things. We see attitudes of conditional commitment to, I don't know if there is such thing as a conditional commitment, but we have Orthodox Christians now that set conditions whether they want to be actively involved in the church or not. We hear criticisms of our faith, that it's too stringent or too archaic, and we need to modernize our church and to accept a more liberal attitude in many of the moral issues within society. We've seen churches which have succumbed to that pressure from society and from their own members, and we see how destructive that has been for those churches that have done so. So we should learn from the mistakes of others and not to fall victim to the same trappings and the same temptations. Our faith, our church, our people have proven their faithfulness to Christ and to the church that he established by giving their life all throughout the years, whether it was in the first 300 years of Christianity, whether it was under some type of warfare, whether it was under the Turkish enslavement of Orthodox countries for 500 years, whether it was under communism. The fact is that our church has been tested, and it has remained intact. Now that there is no actual persecution, Orthodox Christians have become very complacent. And the victims of that, unfortunately, are the children. And we need to turn within ourselves and within our own families and see what we're doing, because we are responsible to God for these children, these souls, these young souls, who are constantly brainwashed by television and all the other media. I'm open to discussion, if you have any.
Father, I tend to see in our parish, we get a lot of immigrants that come from Serbia that are brought and maintain a strong belief in orthodoxy for the first 2 months they're in country. And then it dissipates as they acclimate to this secular Western society. And I'm curious, not only if you've seen this over your years in Greek Orthodoxy, but at the same time, to just voice concern that it's disheartening for anyone to see people to physically see this dissipation of faith in people who practice it. So I'm almost like, as you said, there's no persecution, there's no firm stance with it anymore.
Well, we live in America has always been considered as the melting pot of religions and cultures. And it is the new Babylon, where people who are not practicing their faith, people who are not committed to our Christian faith, are easily persuaded by their environment, by their society that they live in. They want so badly to become Americanized. In other words, to be accepted by the American society and not to be looked down upon as the Greek immigrant, as the Serbian immigrant, and so on. You have the assimilation of these people that come here. It takes a great deal of effort on the part of them as well as ours in order to stand firm in our convictions. We either have strong convictions, strong principles, and strong understanding of our faith. That way, nothing that comes our way can persuade any of us to make that change. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. If your commitment was never there to begin with, if you have no understanding, and we have seen, tragically enough, as priests, we know definitely there's a significant number of Orthodox Christians, no matter what nationality, because of circumstances in Europe, whether it was communism or some other, First World War, Second World War, civil wars, and all the other things, somehow many of our people are religiously illiterate. In other words, they don't know that much about their faith. So it's easy then to make a compromise or to accept something new and contemporary. But if your roots are deep into the fertile ground of our church, nothing can shake you from your strong convictions. If they're superficial, the first wind and you're gone. The first opportunity, let's say, living in a new world, in a new country, is that it's easy to lose that.